Hey everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. Thank you so much for joining me. We are doing a little event preview here for Rap is Full. Very much looking forward to that. Before we get into that though, please follow the show at Battle Rap Resume. Please subscribe to the channel. If you listen to on the podcast, listen on the YouTube, any sort of podcast affiliate, that'd be greatly appreciated. Please leave us a review on iTunes. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Battle Rap Resume. But yeah, we are, as I say, today interviewing Ruari and Bill from Rap is Full. How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty well. How about yourself?
Very, very well, very well. And yourself as well, man?
Yeah, doing good. How are you, Tom?
Yeah, I'm awesome, man. And we've got sort of a cross-continental sort of thing going on, haven't we? Bill, you're in Boston at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, I'm actually just north of Boston in Haverhill, Massachusetts. It's about 20 minutes north of Boston, but pretty much whenever you're in that area, you're clumped into being from Boston, Mass.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, man. I mean, America's so big that it's just
exactly. It's it's a ways away, but it's still to people who aren't from here considered part of the suburbs. So it's Boston, Mass, but in Haverhill, Massachusetts, same thing.
Yeah. And Ruari, where are you hailing from, man?
From Wexford, which is a small town in the southeast of Ireland, known as the sunny southeast, but we don't actually get any sun, so I don't know where we got that from.
And, I mean, before we get to the card, how did you guys sort of, I'll ask yourself, Ruari, initially, how did you guys come to work together to set up a battle event in Ireland?
Sorry, someone's after just calling to the house there.
Oh,
about a year ago, we got talking and through the Cat Mob group on Facebook, and Bill was doing the video battles, so kind of got involved in that. And then him and Jay Scott, who edited, he's the editor for Rap is Full. He's from New York. He they started their own East Coast Connection Media, which is kind of for video battles and to do event previews and things like that. It's all online, so they asked me to help with that in kind of just a promotional capacity as it was. So then I got talking to Bill and saying that there wasn't many battle events anymore here. There used to be Don't Flop Ireland, and then it changed to DFI, which was the Fighting Irish, was the same company, but it just separated from Don't Flop. And Reds ran that, but it kind of just died out then for a while. There's been one or two events since, which Rappers Comp Ireland do events as well, but there hasn't been much apart from that. So I was just kind of telling Bill that I was interested in doing a few events, and it kind of just blossomed from there then. And then Bill came on board then because he was kind of doing all the work behind the scenes anyway. He booked most of the battles on the card and helped me book it and kind of liaise with all the battlers and help get it set up and kind of motivated me to get off my arse and do it.
And I should say this is the inaugural event going down 8th of April 2017. Where is it actually happening, the location wise, Ruari?
In Enniscorthy in Wexford, so it's about 20 minutes from. I live in the main town in Wexford, which is Wexford Town. Enniscorthy is a very small town now as well. So I had done events over the years, not battle rap, but I had done hip hop nights in Dublin. And it's about, I suppose it's a 3-hour drive, and I had to go up. I had to get someone to mind the kids. I had to do this, and it was just the travelling and all wasn't worth the hassle really. So I wanted to do something more local. So I couldn't really find a venue in my own town, because even though we have a good history of live music, it's just most of the venues have closed down with the recession over the last few years. So there wasn't anything, and that's how Podge Dwyer came on board then, who's a rapper from Enniscorthy. And he wanted a battle, and he said, "Sure, I know a venue." So he said, "I'm going to try the Bailey, which is a really nice venue." But we didn't think we were going to get it because it's battle rap, if you know what I mean. We didn't think to be into it, and they jumped at the chance because I think it was just something different as well. So we were delighted to get that. We had a few other venues to check, but that was the one that we wanted, and we were lucky enough to get it. So hopefully it goes well if we get another few events there.
Yeah, of course. And Bill, yourself, I mean, we established you were, quite a way away there in Haverhill. Are you coming over for this event, or are you just organising it, or what's the relationship?
No, so I will not be coming over for this event. I will be over for one in the future, but like Ruari was saying earlier, we kind of came together through Cat Mob, and really the No Coast versus King of the Ronalds was another thing that set it off because, it was a lot in the forums, and if anybody was into the scene. They saw all the back and forth that led up to the event, and I was on the card, so it kind of got into that. And then myself and my partner, Jay Scott, we decided to start our own company, East Coast Connection Media. And really what it's been is, bouncing ideas back and forth between ourselves, because he has a good idea about my local scene. I have a good idea about his local scene. So it's mainly just going to be behind the scenes, booking of the battles, doing some of the logistical work, like for the promotional aspect and stuff like that, and just being a liaison to some of the talent. Like you see Real Deal, he's a lot of people. I think that's a huge surprise for a lot of people for our first event to have someone like Real Deal, but it's just through the connections that I've made myself and Rory's made. It's been very easy for us to find the Canels of the world, the Hulks of the world, to come over and actually want to do it. So I'm going to be more behind the scenes, but I will be coming over eventually, probably the second or third event, and hopefully taking a battle on the card as well, but just being there in person to kind of put a face to the behind the scenes names, because a lot of the guys I talk to all the battlers, because as he said before, I helped set up most of the battles on the card through just communications I've had with them through forums. So it made it quite easy for us to do it. So hopefully we can continue to do it in the future. And we actually, before we get this one done, we're already in works for our second event, and we have some good battles going and a lot of interest there. So it's working out very well on our end.
Excellent, and you tease Real Deal there, who is of course the headliner, but we need to go through the whole card itself. And Rory, as I said to you guys before, a lot of these people I don't know. I'm sure a lot of the listeners won't be aware of them, so it's going to be a learning experience for all of us. Trips versus Tommy C. What can you tell me about this battle?
Well, Trips has never battled before, but he's actually from another town in Wexford, from New Ross. So I was trying to kind of get new battlers as well, because it's been kind of inactive here, and a lot of the older heads, the more established heads, aren't battling anymore. So Trips has been he's part of the Flow State movement, which is a kind of a loose collective of artists all over Ireland, and they've been doing some good things now. So he actually has some good music, and he kind of has some bar videos out as well, that have got done well. So hopefully now that he does well. Tommy C has 2 battles on Rappers Comp Ireland, which Kim Marie runs, which very good league as well. And he's done, I think he's 17, but he's done really well, and you can kind of see the improvement every time. So I think this is actually, even though it's kind of no one really knows much about either of these two, I think it's going to be a good one if both of them come and show what they're made of,
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, as a whole, rap is full. Are you seeing this growing extent of is there this real scene in Ireland that you feel needs representation?
Well, there was. We kind of had when Redzer was running DFI, was kind of when it was at the peak, and that was around the time that Dawn Flop was only starting, about 2009, 2010, when Dawn Flop was only starting to really become noticed, and where acapella battling kind of took off, leading up to 2012 kind of year, and it just stopped. Then I think Redzer just kind of got sick of doing it, and he battled Sense. He battled he was supposed to battle in King of the Dot, and at I think it was World Domination 4, I think, I could be wrong about that, and he got stopped in the airport. So we've never actually had an Irish battler to go over to Canada or America to one of the big leagues. So hopefully that's something that will come from these events now, that we'll eventually get someone over there. Just it'd be nice to see someone on the big stage, on one of the big leagues.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely, that would be, underrepresented as hell. And we get to the next match, Bill. Systematic versus Sonny Phalo. Am I saying that correctly?
Sonny Fellow. Sonny Fellow. Philo, Fellow,
whatever, right?
all three of us have a different way of saying it. So Sonny Philo, and it's always wrong. I can make a career of saying overseers' names wrong, so that's always on me too. So, but the go ahead.
No, just that as a battle as a whole, these are two guys. Again, I'm oblivious to. How do you see this one?
Well, Systematic, he's been making music for a long time. He battled on RCI once, I believe. I'm not sure if the footage ever came out or if it was a straight to like Facebook on Kim Marie's page, who runs Rappers Comp Ireland. But he has battled before. But he's been doing music for quite a while. Sonny is one of my favorite up-and-comers in Ireland. He battled Terminal on RCI, and he actually did one of the international video battles that I put together for ECCM against a rapper locally here named Sick Made. And I think he's really going to take the next step in this battle, and they're both going to prove that they, are progressing along to the point where they want to be, because you could see that they're both very hungry and they both want to become better rappers and battlers at the same time, doing both the music and the battling. So I think it's going to be a very entertaining battle. I think it's going to be one that's going to open a lot of people's eyes.
Mm-hmm. And Rory, are you familiar with these guys, or?
I actually saw Sonny on his debut. I didn't see Systematic. I think Systematic's video was uploaded to Facebook Live, but I don't think it actually dropped properly. But I saw Sonny in the battle against Terminal, who's another good up and comer who's from Ireland. But Sonny done really well. You could kind of tell that he had the performance there and maybe not the bars at the time, but is improving the whole time. He's a young kid as well. I think he's only about 17, 18 maybe. And he makes music as well, and he makes good music, So I think he's going to be a name that after a couple more battles that people are really going to start to like as well.
And we get to the next battle now. I am aware of GEE, but only because on the Battle Resume channel I do this series, Top 10 Most Disliked. And I went on the top 10 most disliked demo battles, and I remember watching GEE versus Scribs, and I kind of recall him being not bad, slightly kind of cut from the lunar cloth to a certain extent, but going on his verse tracker now, he's battled a hell of a lot, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at his resume as of right now, after that, he's battled Innuendo, he's battled Bombshell, he's battled Bowski. I mean, he has a lot of battles out there that a lot of people might not know of. He's more recognized for the Scribs battle, but right. the work that he's been putting in should not be, easily dismissed at all, because I feel like he's improved quite a bit, and I'm sure Rory will, tell you right now the same.
Yeah, I think he took a bit of time out from battling as well, I think, because he battled on, do you remember Wrapped in Wire, the league from years ago? I think he battled on that, and he battled on a lot of kind of the smaller Get Sladed, I think, in Newcastle, I think he battled on as well. And I don't think he battled up for a while then, but he came back then this year, then he battled on KOTR, on King of the Ronalds, and done very well. And I think he's going to do well over here. He seems to be a kind of fella that likes to enjoy himself. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's going to make a good battle out of it. And he's battling Podge, and Podge is actually from Enniscorthy, so he's battling a hometown boy as well. So I think that could make this battle very interesting as well. Do you know?
And talk to me about Podge. What's his sort of approach?
Well, Podge I think has only one battle, and I think it was just kind of. He battled Dynamic, another rapper from Dublin, Ireland, but I think it was kind of 2 days notice kind of thing, and I don't think that the footage is online. It's not great either. So Podge has been making music now, and he's he's been doing gigs, and he should be good now. I don't know if he'll be able to make the crossover to battling properly, but he is a good rapper, so do you know what I mean? It's going to be an interesting battle either way, He has the hometown advantage as well. Hopefully he brings loads of his friends with him,
Yeah, that's the way you win battles, definitely. So, that could be good to see. Bill, talk to me about Darkly versus Coleman.
Darkly versus Coleman. This actually was originally a different battle. It was originally scheduled Darkly versus Hennessy. Hennessy dropped out. So we actually found Coleman as a replacement, and it's actually probably a much better matchup if you look at it style-wise, potential-wise, everything like that. They've both battled on RCI. Darkly is one of my favorite up-and-comers in Ireland. He has the pen. He has the presence. I think the performance just needs to come up just a little bit for him to kind of take that next step and be, talked about a little bit more on a international level or more on like a level of, say, a guy like Terminal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Coleman's a young guy, I believe, and it's going to make for a much better matchup than the first one. So I'm glad that this one was able to come together. But I think Darkley, in my opinion, is going to be the one to watch in this matchup, just because if he is able to step up his performance like I think he can, he's going to show that he could take the next step up to the next level.
Nice. And Rory, do you concur? Is Darkley the sort of the guys keep the eyes on?
I think so. Darkley is he's one of these guys that loves battle rap. Do you know what I mean? And he doesn't. I don't think he makes music, or he doesn't really. If he does make music, I don't think he posts it online or anything anyway. But he's just all about battle rap and constantly watching battles. And one of these guys that really understands the style of writing and that's popular now. And so I think it's going to be good. Coleman as well had one battle on RCI and he done very good. Like, he kind of has a very not, I hate to use the word swagger, but he has that kind of swagger, right. That kind of attitude about him, which I think is going to help him as well. And he makes music as well, and he had a video that went viral. I was tagged in the video. I was getting notifications for about 3 months. I think I got one the other day about it. So he's doing well as well on the music front. So I think the two of these guys now, I was annoyed when Hennessy pulled out, to be honest, and because that was a battle that I was looking forward to. I thought Hennessy and Dartley were kind of two of the newer names that were going to try and make a name for themselves. But I think this is still going to be a very good battle,
Yeah, and we get into the for me a bit of a philistine, I'm afraid, for this sort of Irish battle rap. We get to the more recognisable names here. Very, very cool to see Hulk coming over to this league, Bill. Hulk, obviously, I've had him on the show. Big fan of this guy. Everyone knows Hulk. Terminal, not familiar. How do you see this matchup playing out?
I think it's going to be a little bit closer than a lot of people think. Hulk, I have a little bit of a personal bias with. He's probably one of my top 5 UK battle rappers, just because the way his style is. He commands the stage, his presence, his bars. I mean, if you look at just the way he opens a battle on a consistent basis, like if you take the iKid battle, for instance, just the way he opens it up and really sets the tone for each battle, I think that's something that's going to be very hard for most people to overcome. But I think Terminal is he's more slept on under the radar, and I think he's going to take this next step and really accept the challenge of battling, this a main event worthy MC and Hulk. Because I think it's two veterans on different ends of the spectrum of a veteran. You have Hulk, who's a much bigger name and more popular because he's put in more work on a larger scale. But Terminal, I think Terminal is going to, open some eyes, and it's a main event worthy battle for sure. And to have it as, the third from the top on the card, it just kind of shows you what else we have in store.
Yeah, and Rory, I mean, a great look for Terminal, isn't it, battling against Hulk?
Yeah, well, that's he's held Terminal, even though he hasn't had loads of battles online. I think he has more that were never kind of filmed or uploaded. But he's held in high esteem here already, on the back of the Sonny Philo battle. And he battled, who else? He battled another on RCI, I can't, the name evades me now. But he done very well in both battles, and he's similar to Darkley, where he has understands the writing and the mechanics of it. Do you know what I mean? But he'd be a step above now, and I think he's one that's actually going to go far after this battle now. That's why me and Bill wanted to see him battle someone of the caliber of Hulk, who has a very good pen, do you know what I mean? When Hulk is on form, there's not many that can stand next to him, So I think it's going to be a good one as well. Hopefully, maybe I'm just a bit biased.
Yeah, naturally it plays into it, and I'm very, very excited to see, great friend of the show, huge fan of this guy. Awesome to see Canel battling on this card, Bill. Is it? I mean, we established earlier we have difficulty pronouncing his names. Is this Guame? How am I saying this? Guame.
Don't ask me.
Right.
Guame. It's Guame.
This discussion already.
It's Guam.
Guam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is pronounced. It is pronounced Guame. Gwaim is the correct pronunciation.
His first name is Graham, so I think it's just a play on that, like, you know.
Oh, okay, I see. And I mean, Rory, Canel versus Gwaim. Then I love Canel. I love seeing any Canel battle. I'm not aware of Gwaim, but this will be a good one, right?
Oh, definitely. Now, Canel is still the KOTR champ as far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't like Bard at all.
Right.
Joke. Okay. Bard is all right.
Not our champ.
Not my champ.
Yeah.
But
not my champ.
Canel started battling just a little over a year ago, I think, didn't it? Really, you know. So I think he comes from a spoken word background. I think, all right, but he was one of my favorites in KOTR now and I love KOTR. Like, it's one of my favorite leagues. And he was just every battle, like, you know, he always has those bars that'll just make you laugh and just, you know what I mean? And they're clever with the wordplay and, you know, really good style as well. And kind of similar style to O'Shea. A lot of people have said as well, like, you know, so I'm really looking forward to this one. You know, Graham has he was supposed to battle Tox last year on Rappers Comp Ireland, and Tox got I think it was called off. Tox got a battle on Don't Flop, but it was kind of a bigger look for him. Like, so I think that's why I don't think it was. He didn't no-show him. Do you know what I mean? It was called off at the time. Pedro was supposed. I think Pedro missed his plane, or I'm not too sure. Pedro just was probably out doing some mad shit or something.
Right.
So Graham has had kind of big names, and he's been around kind of since the start of Don't Flop Ireland. He was there, and he was only a young guy then, you know. So he's had a few battles, and he's done a lot. He done a lot of freestyle battles now. I don't think most of them weren't uploaded now. They were just for a kind of live thing in Dublin, and he's very good. You know, he battled Darkly, who's we talked about earlier. He battled him, and the boys took that. That was actually to replace Pedro when Pedro didn't turn up, and I think whoever Darkly was supposed to battle didn't turn up. So the two boys agreed to do it. They kind of on 2-3 days' notice because they had found out a bit before their opponents weren't going to be there or whatever. So Graham is very good, you know. He's been around and he knows how to do the things, you know.
And I mean, you know, Bill, great to see Canel on this card, right?
Oh, of course. Anytime you can have Canel on a card, it's incredible. Met him over when he came over for Snow Coast. Just an incredible person. But the progression through battle rap has been insane for him. I actually have him booked to come on my first card in July over here in Haverhill. He's going to battle Shake from No Coast. And, you know, so it was natural to try to get him on this card as well because pretty much any Canel performance, you know, is going to be a great performance. He's going to have some noteworthy bars. I mean, if you look at him versus Billy Shakes, just the way he attacked the Canada bars, that was pretty good. You remind me of Canada. You know, the way you have sex, it's just you on top saying sorry a lot.
Right.
You could really tell his spoken word background plays a lot into his battle rap performance, but it's great to have him on any card. So to see him against Gwaim is going to be phenomenal, I think. Seeing again, I messed up his name, but
yeah, no, it's fair. And we get to the top of the card here, Rory. Pretty incredible that Real Deal's coming out to battle Sayo. I mean, what a catch!
Yeah, well, a lot of that was down to Billy. Now we had tried to book a couple other headliners, and everyone was kind of booked up because I was trying to get someone from Don't Flop, you know, because it's closer as well, like, and for logistics and things like that, and. It was around the time the A-War, Real Deal's A-War battle and his reverse live battle had both dropped, and I knew that he had been out at No Coast and he knew Billy, so we just kind of said then, will we do it? Like, because there's never really been a big American, I don't think there's ever been a big American battler, not in the acapella or anyway, that's actually came to Ireland to battle, so it's a first for that as well, so I'm kind of fairly excited about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's going to be great, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, off the heat of the Soul battle as well, like, you know, Real Deal's been putting in.
Yeah, well, that's it. Even the A-Ward and the reverse live battles, I think he done them, was it a week and a half or 2 weeks apart, like, do you know what I mean? So, you know, he puts in the work and he never really has a bad performance. Like, I don't think I've seen him having a bad performance, you know?
No, he's sturdy as hell, man. And so, Bill, this was your making then? You kind of got Real Deal involved, is that right, or...?
Yeah, you know, just through the connection from Snow Coast again, and you know, mutual respect. Me being from Boston, him being from Pittsburgh, it was just an instant connection. We're both from kind of like gritty, hard-working cities and, kind of respect each other's work ethic and stuff like that. And it really actually started out as a joke because when we were out there, we all stayed at a house together. It was me, Lush One, Real Deal, Cannell, and Mackenzie all sharing a house for the weekend. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Rory, and, we kind of made a joke, and it was like, what do we got to do to get you over to Ireland? And he's like, for you guys, just buy me a Phil Kessel jersey. So it's kind of it's one of his favorite hockey players for his local hockey team. So it kind of started out as a joke, and we got to talking about the card, and like Rory said, we had a few guys local who we wanted to get on board, some don't flop guys. It didn't really work out the way we wanted it to. They had some stuff lined up earlier, or they were willing to commit but had battles that were too close and conflicting and, worried about the performance aspect hurting on one of the leagues. Not even so much as ours, but we don't want any artist to hurt on any platform by trying to rush two things. So, jokingly, again, hit up Trevor and was like, hey, we're really doing something out here. We have, a couple options. Would you like to come out and battle? Let's make this happen. And Sayo was one of the options of who he wanted to battle, so it worked out in the end. And it's something I'm really looking forward to because Sayo is someone I know a lot. I'm very familiar with his battles, and, like Rory said earlier, you never see a bad Real Deal performance. He always comes and he tries 110% no matter what stage he's on, so it's going to make for a great battle.
Yeah, and Sayo, Rory, a pretty big name, isn't he, in the kind of context?
Yeah, well, he's been there as well, from kind of the start of Don't Flop Ireland, and he had a few shaky performances when he was starting out, but he kind of always had the character and, the persona, where he's a kind of larger-than-life guy, so you kind of knew that even though he had some bad performances and maybe it was under-prepped, and then you could kind of see the performances stepping up, and he went over to Don't Flop and battled over there, and he battled Nugget here, and he battled, who else, Impact, Bowski again, battled him and put in really good performances. He's great music as well, he's been putting out music for years now, and he's done well with the music as well. I've met Sayo a few times now. He hosted an event that we done up in Dublin before, and it was just he was hilarious. He was a natural performer, So I think this is going to be. He told me, he kind of said he knows his Real Deal, so he knows if he doesn't bring his best, he's in trouble basically. But he said he has 3 of the best rounds he's ever wrote. So I think this is going to be a classic. Hopefully, it's probably one of the biggest battles now that's going to come up in Ireland in a long time, John.
Yeah, definitely, man. And can people get tickets online, or is it an at-the-door sort of thing, or?
Just at the door. We were going to do tickets online, and to be honest, I just got an eye trying to set it up now. There was a lot of details to be sorted out, so we just said we'd do it on the door then. Mm-hmm. But it's a first event as well, so hopefully we're going to get the people through the door,
Yeah, definitely. And I guess just to reiterate for the listeners, where is it located? Where do they need to head?
Oh, in Enniscorthy in County Wexford. So it's in the Bailey Bar and Cafe, which is basically just by the bus stop. So if anyone's listens that's coming from Dublin or anything, you just get the bus. I know there's been a bus strike on here with a bus there, but you can still avoid that because Wexford bus runs from the Quays on Dublin, and you can get them now. They're not on strike, so not that I usually, I'll stand by people that are on strike as well, but
Yeah. It's battle rap, bitch.
Basically.
And I guess finally, it's being hosted by CG Spokesman. Who is that?
He used to go by the name of Young Dubs, so he was in a group with Cullen, and they put out a mixtape, the grip tape, probably it was a good few years ago, about 10 years ago. So he kind of didn't hasn't been doing anything with music, but he's always been passionate, and he was always at all the Don't Flop Ireland and DFI events. Mm-hmm. And I've met him a few times. If he comes down to Wexford now for a weekend away with the missus or whatever, or a wedding, he'd always give me a ring and we'd go for a pint. He's a terrible nice fella. He actually, because I was doing Rap is Full, started as a blog that I was doing. I had a few different blogs, and that was one of them. And we got an opportunity to interview the hip hop group Mobb Deep. And I was supposed to do the interview, but with the kids I couldn't get up to Dublin, so I was kind of good. So I said to Colin as CG Spokesman, I said, do you want to do the interview? So he went up, and he was kind of a natural done it that way, so it actually worked out good. So he had been saying to me he was mad to get back to it now, and he was kind of working away at his career and doing whatever, and living his life. But he was always saying he wanted to get back. So I said, why don't you come down and host it? I said it'll be something, we'll have a fun day out and we'll have a few pints. And so looking forward to that as well. He's a good guy.
All right, awesome. Yeah, well, I want to urge everyone listening to get down to Rap is Full's inaugural event here. Last Word's going to be crazy, especially Real Deal, Canal Hulk, and all the others we've gone through. And I guess if people can't get to the event itself, like the YouTube channel, Billy, how do people, is there a subscribe there or whatever? How do they get there?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube. Just search Rap is Full on YouTube. The channel will come up. You'll see that we actually have previews for most of the battles that are going to be going down, so you can get a little bit of insight to what's going to happen, and you can see everything else that we're going to do in the future. So if you definitely can't make it there, make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTube channel so you can see everything that's coming up in the future.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so everyone, just to reiterate that, search Rap is Full on YouTube and subscribe to the channel there. I've just done a little search myself, and it is the first thing that comes up. I've just subscribed, so that's awesome. Check that out. But guys, as ever, this has been great. Cheers, man.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
All right.